Glad you're joining us. We are in the Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel. I am Drew, joined by KB.
What's going on, brother man?
Got Hunter Baumgart here. Plenty going on. Brewers playing the Snakes in the series finale at American Family Field as we speak. Arizona leads 6-4. We'll keep you apprised of what happens in the ballpark, and we will talk about this game. And there is no Tim Allen appearance today. Tim needed a load management day. So Tim will not have a baseball postgame show. But fortunately, we got Hunter Baumgart here, our erstwhile Brewers beat reporter, who will help us break down the game that is going on right now. Jose Quintana did not acquit himself very well in the series finale, but it's far from flipping over in the middle of the sixth. Brewers trail 6-4, and this one could be headed for both teams in double digits. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We also are at the dawn of the college football season. With all due respect to what happened last week with Hawaii winning and the game over in Ireland that the Badgers are going to play in a couple of years, it starts now. Badgers tonight against Miami University of Oxford, Ohio, an 8-10-ish start, depending on what happens with the Rutgers game that precedes it on Big Ten Network. And there's plenty of questions about the Badgers. There's also plenty of, shall we say, skepticism, bordering on apathy, because the Badgers have not been the powerhouse that we came to know and love over the last, 20, 25 years. They're on their way back. Year 3 under Luke Fickell. And my 10-cent take off the top is that, it's year 3. Remember what Wayne said about the Packers and Jordan Love, and that they're kind of like, this is the year they're supposed to take out. Like the blueprint was give Jordan Love 2 years as starter, and then in year 3 you'll go to town. Well, they kind of rushed things a little bit when that first year, when Jordan Love had that monster second half and they won a surprising playoff game, right? Then a little bit different last year, and so then this is year 3. I think you can have the same feeling with Fickell to an extent. We didn't expect it to fall like it did. Didn't expect him to lose the last 5 games last year. But I heard Mike Heller, our opening act, shout out to Mike. He was using the term clean slate. And with the changeover that they've had with the roster, I'll buy that. So we'll see what the Badgers can bring to the party tonight. But in the bigger picture, I would ask KB and Hunter and all of our smart, good-looking listeners statewide who want to join us on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line 877-794-1973. Generally speaking, where does college football rank on your sports menu?
Okay, I was.
Where does this rank, and where do the Badgers rank on your sports diet?
I was just thinking about this exact same thing, and with all the NIL, and it kind of came up when we were talking to Matt LePay the other day, and I said, now, with college football, you can't with NIL. It's almost as if you can't follow a guy's career from, freshman to maybe redshirt freshman to when's he going to get a chance to play, things like that, because you get someone who comes in, they play for a year, and then they hit the portal. And all of all of those things are going on. It makes it very difficult. So college football to me has lost a lot of its appeal. Yeah, it's a good game. But it's not that it was, innocent before, but it was more amateur. It created the illusion, tried to paint the picture of an illusion of being, not, all entirely on the up and up. But now I think it's a mess. And it's most college sports. And I just don't particularly care for the way it ended up. Now, Luke Fickell coming into his 3rd year, I don't know if you could put them on the same timetable that you would say, year 3, because everything changed. You get a guy who comes in and coaches, who could be a very good coach, but if you have a great coach and he doesn't have the bank behind him, he's not going to win. And I think that changed the landscape. So I don't know. I mean, if you take a look at Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is picked 14 out of 16 in the Big Ten. There's one that I saw. They're way down, right?
I don't pay much attention to preseason polls.
No, but I mean, if you look at the buzzsaw that they've got to go through and the teams that they have on their schedule, it's certainly believable. you're not going to. I think it's all going to depend on how much money you're throwing at the kids. Plain and simple, whether you're going to be good
Hunter,
or not.
where do you come down on college football in general and the Badgers specifically in terms of your sports menu? We know you're a baseball guy.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to be, all in on anything else until after the Brewers make their postseason run. But I still like it. I think the game day atmospheres are cool. I like the uniqueness of each city and stadium and traditions and everything like that. Has it been watered down a little bit? Sure. Have other things been, watered down as well in overall in our world? Probably. But I think I still like it for what it is and the traditions and just seeing, a random end of a game between, North Carolina and Virginia Tech, in a 40-40 overtime game, or, something like that. Those are still cool. And hey, it's the Badgers. It's in the state. I'm going to cheer for it and hope they do well. And looking forward to kind of what this iteration of the Badgers is, getting back to their roots, but also having a quarterback who's kind of been there, done that. And I really have liked what I've heard from him too.
Me too. So I agree with Mike on the clean slate thing. If the Badgers are trailing after jump around today, I reserve the right to say, oh boy, here we go again. Right. But in general, it's like you have the college football zealots, people who love it, live by it. To me, it's like it's something to do while you're waiting for the NFL games. And now that the NFL plays almost every day, it's a little bit different, but Saturdays are still college football days for the most part. And it is something, but then by Monday, we're always thinking Packers and not thinking Badgers or college football. And I know a lot of folks are torqued up because they want to watch Arch Manning play against Ohio State this weekend. Mm-hmm. That's a big game. And I love that the college football has more kind of marquee games out of the chute rather than teams steamrolling, Cumberland or
right.
Athletes in action or whatever it would be, or East Directional U. But it's just like you have limited bandwidth now and there's more stuff to consume and there's more. It seems like much like Spinal Tap, college football's audience is more selective. Now, there are plenty of people I know who will say that they're college football fans, but that means they like to put on a red sweatshirt and drink on Saturday. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. I mean, there's that, but what's the depth of it? How much do you follow it? There are a lot of people who follow the draft, our buddy Reegs, who are into college football, but they see that as just feeding the NFL machine. Like that's a means to an end. The NCAA, they follow it the way baseball zealots follow the minor leagues. They see it as the feeder system, and in some ways it is, right? So that's the lifeblood. But yeah, in terms of around here, and we've talked about it before, and part of it is the way that we only have one Division I program in the state. Whereas in Ohio, like you got Miami coming in today, and you go to Ohio and you got Ohio State, Ohio University, you got Miami, you got Maction, right? You got Bowling Green, you got a bunch of D1 teams to follow. And so more of your local kids are playing D1 and you're more aware of it. And the spring game here is never what it's going to be in the SEC. And it's never, the signing day is never going to be in Wisconsin what it is in other markets. It just isn't. And, this isn't going to be, and we produce a lot of good players here, but it isn't California, Texas, or Florida. Right.
Right.
But I think NIL to me is, it's not having the effect. Everybody thought, NIL, Alabama's going to get everybody. Well, they didn't make playoff, right? So they've had, this year will be the 12th year of the college football playoff, and it's expanded and metastasized. But I think that's been successful. And I always feel like college football, the regular season in college football means more than it does in just about any other sport you can follow. Because there's like here, for example, Ohio State and Michigan play every year in the big game. Ohio State wins the national championship. But if they don't beat Michigan, like they want to fire the coach. Yes. And it's like that game means more. And it's a game can, losing a game early can,
it can knock you out.
Not as much with the expanded playoffs, but it still is very detrimental, And so college football regular season is precious, and it does produce moments, but it's also, to your point, it's harder to follow because of
harder to follow
around, and you don't get to identify guys and watch them develop.
I think as the dust settles on NIL in the tournament and expanded, the expanded playoffs, I think you may find that the regular season might become more interesting than the playoffs. Only time will tell, but you might see the same teams over and over again because they're just throwing bank at people. And that's completely unregulated.
Yeah, but it was the same teams forever before that. That's what I'm saying. It was Alabama, it was Georgia, it was
get
Clemson, and there wasn't a lot of diversity at the top to begin with.
And and how much did you hear me complain or make jokes about? Oh, Alabama's in. They're in.
Yeah.
And it was Alabama, Clemson. Now LSU is getting a lot of attention. Georgia.
LSU and Clemson play each other this weekend. Don't LSU and Clemson play each other this weekend? I think so.
Boy, those are two teams you don't want to see anyone win. But I mean, if I had my druthers, I want Clemson to, kick Brian Kelly's ass. I mean, if you want to, he's such a turd.
That's a classic.
I can't stand him.
So you get those stories like Arizona State last year. You get those kind of things. You get the expanded playoffs have changed the landscape maybe more than NIL. Because that, again, you can absorb like a loss or two now. It used to be, well, you lost, now you're done. And it is a weird thing with the conference championship games we've talked about. So there are some hiccups. It's still a good product. It's fun to follow. It's fun to bet on if you're into that. But again, I'm just wondering if people have the bandwidth to absorb it. And it's never been, for me, it's never been close to being number one around here. Even when the Badgers were going to the Rose Bowl. It was always still.
Oh no, it's going to be the
Packers 1, 2, and 3, and then Brewers, and then maybe even college hoops gets a little bit more of a fervent following than college football in our state.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's a lot of reasons for that. But I'm just wondering if we could get your thoughts on this 877-794-1973. That's 877-794-1973. Randcorp said college football is still king. KB made some valid points. I thought it would be less enjoyable the past couple of years, but it's been incredibly good. So I'm still all in. Badgers, man, I used to go to every home game. Now I don't want to miss the great games on TV that are happening at the same time. I hope they get their bleep together, but it's a tall order.
I said, I didn't say right now. I said time is going to, as this NIL era continues, that I think it's going to, it'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. But I mean, can you name the last three? Someone right now name the last three Badger quarterbacks.
I mean,
Hunter, go.
Name the last three.
One, Tyler Van Dyke, Tanner Mordecai, and who played most of last year.
See what I'm telling you?
Those were the two guys.
Well, you can't do it.
You can name Braylon Allen. He was
right.
Well known.
I mean, but you can't do it, and that's that's the way college football is going. You could have said Jack Cohn, and you could have said Jack Cohn for. I mean, he was a little farther back, but you could have used Jack Cohn for Wisconsin and Notre Dame. Graham Mertz for Wisconsin and Florida.
Mertz made the Texans roster, by the way. The other day.
Shout out to him.
Oh,
good
job
for him. By him. Absolutely. 877-794-1973. The Barrister. As a Wisconsin alum, I follow all three major Badger sports first. We'll define major Badger sports because I think he's going with baseball, basketball, and hockey, but women's volleyball is right up there as well.
Well, they don't have baseball.
I mean, no, it's not baseball. Football, basketball, and hockey.
Yeah. I would say of the Badger sports that I am most interested in, I will start and say my number one is women's volleyball.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, you're so woke. Barrister said most Brewers games, many Bucks games. Rarely, if ever, do I watch other baseball or basketball games. Random time filling Saturday top college football games. Nate from Dallas said it's something to turn on and have a beer at noon on a Sunday.
There you go, Nate. Your priorities are in order.
That's a lot of people have that same thing. Again, like I love college football, and how do you follow it? Well, I put on a red sweatshirt and go to the games and drink, and that's about it. And if there's and I watch the college football playoff, perhaps. Will in Hales Corners, not far from the Megaplex, joins us. Will, welcome to Drew and KB.
Gentlemen, what's going on? I believe NIL has ruined, for me at least, and I'm the old guy that says get off my lawn, college football, college basketball. I could not name one player on the Badgers right now. And back in the day, I could name probably 30 of them. I think it's
How many years ago? How many years ago was that?
20, 25. So let's put it this way. Remember Bruce Pearl's run at UWM?
Vaguely.
Think that'll ever happen again?
It was a long
Will
time
that
ago.
ever happen again?
Oh,
Well, not that long. It's long, but not that long.
it would. I would say the odds are stacked against you.
No, Loyola went.
Could
right?
not happen in
Yeah, but it
today's
wasn't the
environment.
NIL era.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it couldn't happen today because, like you said, Clemson, Georgia, every year.
Well, what about
UWM would never make a run again? Never. It'll never happen.
what about Arizona State?
What about Arizona State?
Like their run last year, they were not expected to make the college football playoff. And they
Okay,
did.
so that's one team in the last, since the playoff has started in football, one team in how many?
I don't know. I mean, Fickle took Cincinnati to the playoff. That was quite unexpected too. That was only 5 years ago.
How are they doing in Madison?
Again,
Well, again, but I'm
no
saying,
NIL money when they did that, and then he got just rocked.
Yeah, but
Probably you could make the
I
argument
don't know.
Cincinnati
I hate
shouldn't
to
have
be
been
that
there.
guy, but you just don't know the players anymore. It's
well,
the roster
is
is
it-
100% turnaround every year.
and you could say that if you're looking at basketball, the one and dones kind of did something to that too. I
Yep,
mean, that
it
whole
did that.
deal,
And-
right?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. We're old enough to remember Duke with, Leitner and all them guys and this and that every year. They played 4 years.
You got
could
to hate him
follow
for
a
4
team,
years.
Yeah.
And I always did. But
Mm.
you knew Duke. You hated Duke every year. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all
Well,
good.
all right. It gives you something to watch, something to talk about.
I mean,
In our market, college football doesn't move the needle that much.
Now, the product
Just
is going to
doesn't.
be fine. The product is going to be fine. I'm just saying that it's instead of saying things like, hey, who's that kid that got, that new kid they got from Kimberly, or that kid they got from Arrowhead. Right now it's like, hey, who's that kid that they got from New Mexico State?
Yeah.
You
free
know?
agency.
It really is. That's exactly what
Well,
it
that's
is.
pretty
It's-
much it,
It's
yeah.
unlimited free agency.
From the 262, Packers are always number one. It's hard not to be a fan of Barry Alvarez and those teams. So probably college football second for me, third Brewers, just because they let us down so much. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're so let down.
It's because they don't win the whole thing, KB.
My
It's like if
God.
we don't win the championship, what's the point of even trying? What's the point of even running the balls out there?
I just can't fathom that because, yeah, it's disappointing, but man, you're getting 5 months of fun.
Yeah. And in terms of the college football playoff, again, one of the problems I have is the way the setup and the layoff between the regular season and the actual
Just
playoff
jump
games.
right into it.
I hate that. But
Do
the
they have to get
quality
past
of play,
finals?
and I do think the playoff was necessary because it was so arbitrary with rankings and bowl games and crap like that. So the playoff was a step forward. Still think there's some things that can be ironed out. You're right. It's still a good product, but it's never been, I don't even think, top 3 in our state.
No.
Even when the Badgers were really good. It's always Packers, and it's something to watch until the NFL fires up. But you just don't see. I mean, I'll go into places, barring sports books, when you go into bars and stuff, a lot of times you have to ask for the biggest game of the day to be put on a TV because they left it on, it's on whatever channel. And hey, can you turn on that game that I want to see that everybody's talking about? That
Instead of watching fishing.
yeah, or the golf program that follows
Yes.
Brewers games. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's go to Carl on the north side of Milwaukee. Carl, welcome back. Drew and KB, we've missed you.
Hey, how y'all doing? Likewise.
Excellent, man. Good to hear from you. What do you got for us, man? How do you come down on college football?
Honestly, man, college football is a sacred deal for me, especially me and my mother. This how deep it is. So for years, at least about last 20 years, every Saturday morning, Mom calls me about 5, 6 in the morning. Mind you, I'm off on the weekends. Calls me to wake me up. I'll get up, get myself right, get dressed. I'll go out, grab some breakfast for both of us. I get to her house before game day starts. And we sit there and watch game day. And then we sit there and watch football all day. The early game, the mid-afternoon game, all till about like 6 or 6:30 when Mom starts to wind down. And it's just me and her. No one else comes, not friends, not family. But no one else. It's just me and her. It is a sacred deal. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much live for Saturdays. We cannot wait till this Saturday. I mean, so yeah, it's a big deal for me.
That's fantastic. You guys are hard down watching. Now, what do you do on NFL Sundays? Repeat the same thing?
Now, Sundays are slightly different. Mom don't want to be bothered on Sundays. Now, mind you, she's a Lions fan, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
okay.
Sundays, Sundays, and well, Packer Day for me. I'm at a homeboy's house, and I buy food. He cooks it. We all eat. We sit and watch the Packers, and we've been doing that for a long time too. And everybody's invited for the Packer game.
Okay, just text us an address.
Yeah, text us the address. We'll be over to you.
Just roll in.
Help you eat some grub.
No problem. We'll bring some drinks.
What do you got? I mean, what kind of stuff you cooking?
We'll bring some bourbon.
A homeboy will call me that Sunday morning and ask me what's on the menu. So it's pretty much up to me, and it would depend on what time the Packers kick off. Like if it's a noon game, I'll just grab some burgers and fries and all the stuff for that. But if it's from 3:25 on, like it will be week one, I'll bring like a whole full course meal, and it'd be like a Sunday dinner type thing. Only this Sunday, I'll just tell them to start the grill. Fire the grill. I'll bring brats. I'll bring burgers. I'll bring ribs.
Yes.
I'll bring corn on the cob. I'll bring
mac and cheese. If you're having ribs, you got to have mac and cheese.
That's true.
Cornbread.
Well, we usually say the mac and cheese for the colder months. So this week I'll probably do potato salad.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Carl, you're making us hungry, man. Thank you for calling. Carl is okay. College football is his thing. That's a great tradition too. Hanging with mom and stuff. That's pretty sweet. All right. The reason we're talking about this because the Badgers are facing Miami University of Oxford, Ohio tonight in an 8-10-ish kickoff. If you're going or if you're planning on watching it, it might be 8:30. It depends on the Rutgers game. If Rutgers runs a lot, Rutgers is playing in the Big Ten Network in the slot before the Badgers, right? With a 5 o'clock kickoff. So, college football can't be contained in 3 hours, generally speaking.
God, no.
So we will see. But I'm very interested. I mean, the Badgers have a new offensive coordinator. They're going to be huddling now. They got a new quarterback. They got 40 new guys. And so it is. It's kind of a clean slate. What's going to happen? Nobody has any idea. We're going to find out together. But when we come back, we're going to check in with our buddy Billy Schmidt from No BS. He is on his way to Madison because he's the host of the Badgers post-game show and my co-pilot on the Packers OT on the Packers radio network. Billy Schmidt can't get enough football. So if you ask him, do you like college football or pro football better? He just says yes, like to both. Which do you like better? Both. He likes high school football, too. He likes football in any incarnation. But Billy Schmidt will join us. We'll get his thoughts about what the Badgers are facing, what it's going to look like tonight, what people can expect. Because, again, I'm going into it, and I have no idea. None whatsoever. We're going to find out. Billy Schmidt joins us next. Brewers currently trail. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. They trail 6-4. A lot of ball game left. We'll keep you apprised, and we'll talk Brewers when this game ends. KB had said needed to be 3-1 in this series. There's a chance they could be headed down 2-2.
Yeah, but
Boulevard.
that's fine. That's fine. Just hold serve.
Well, and start cheering for the Giants again. We'll talk to Billy Schmidt next. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dog.
duress, and it's a safety.
The tradition of Badger football lives here.
Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Join us Thursday. The Badgers open the season against the Red Hawks. Our coverage begins at 6.
Looking pressured and sacked.
Milwaukee's home for Wisconsin football.
Which is a good thing for the Badgers.
97.3 The Game.
Drew Wilson here from 97.3 The Game, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy's come out with delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. These are as delicious as homemade dips, and they are made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. I invite you to visit your local grocer and check out Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. They are truly a game changer. Look for them at a grocery store near you.
We want everyone to enjoy their Labor Day weekend, so please use a rideshare or a designated driver. A DUI will change your life. From your friends at iHeartRadio and Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
Rock legend Billy Idol. Live in Milwaukee. Billy Idol. It's a nice day to tour again. With very special guest Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Live at American Family Insurance Amphitheater, August 31st. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit BillyIdol.net.
I want them gummy squares. I want them gummy squares. I want some sleepy with no more anxiety. I need them gummy squares. I need them gummy squares. I need my wife to find her happy place really soon. We have Delta 8 CBD and new Delta 9s. Go to happyplacehemp.com.
Happyplacehemp.com.
25% off with promo code DrewKB. Happyplacehemp.com.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
It's game day in Madison. I've got FOMO because I'm not in Madison. I'm sure it's going to be a great atmosphere tonight. Badgers playing against Miami University of Oxford, Ohio. This evening at Camp Randall, 8:10-ish start. I almost feel guilty because Billy Schmid hosts the No BS program with our buddy Armin Sarian and David Gasper, and he's doing Badgers postgame into the wee hours tonight, and then he is my partner on Packers OT for Packers games. But we got to hit up Billy because his excitement for football and the opener tonight cannot be contained. Billy, thank you for hanging out with us. We've been asking people today where college football lands in their sports buffet and the sports menu and how much bandwidth they can allot to it. Where do you come down? You just like football of all shapes, sizes, levels, right?
Yeah, whatever pigskin I'm going to be a fan of. So it's going to be higher probably on my priority list than many. But Drew, I think this is the interesting part of the game in the sport where college sports is, college football in particular is right now in the climate. I think nationally it's very arguably the second most popular sport, right behind the NFL, and neck with the NBA, which you watch different ratings at times. Is outdrawn by like massive tennis matches. And then you also have, NHL, which I think we all enjoy watching, but the numbers would indicate no one's watching, right? Same with baseball. It's always been so regional. College football has been so regional because we care about our team and then let me know when the national championship has always been. But now I think with the amount of big games you can have because your season's not over if you lose one, the interest in the entire 3 or 4 months is going to continue to go up. So I think it's only raising, but right now I think it's teetering in that 2 to 3 range.
I do love that this weekend. Obviously, we're paying attention to the Badgers tonight, but then this weekend you have Texas, Ohio State right out of shoot, 1 versus 3.
Yep.
LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami, which is going to be cool. That's a Sunday night game.
That's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be fun. And these spreads are pretty enticing in some measure. Like Billy, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Arch Manning goes in and puts a pelt on the wall at the big house.
I've flipped on that game 3 different times. And KB, I got one for you, the FBK, the Brian Kelly parlay.
Yes.
Cincinnati tonight catching 6.5, and then take Notre Dame and then Clemson laying the points.
Oh my God.
You can have 3 great games to be able to watch on 3 days.
Can you hold down the show, Drew? I got to go
That's
run down
spectacular. That is, yeah.
So Billy,
he loves him that.
Right now everyone is saying that the Badgers, they've got them like finishing 12th, 13th, 14th in the Big Ten. Do you see any chance that they could outperform that ranking, or do you think it's accurate based on the strength of the other teams?
Well, that's the tough part about it, KB. Based on the rest of the conference, I think it's going to be hard for them to make a quantum leap higher. But let's be honest, what are they trying to do? They're trying to pull a Badgers basketball where they're projected to be in the middle to bottom half of the league and then finish having a chance to win it. It's easier said than done. More importantly, though, they have the opportunities because they have the games in front of them. They have head-to-heads against so many of these teams. It's a gauntlet. They're going to have to be able to surprise a couple if they're going to get into that spot. But more than anything, KB, it's like, you never want to lower goalposts or people get upset about moving goalposts. At some point, you got to kick the field goal through the uprights, right? So start at one point, then move your way back. And then all of a sudden you can try the 50-yard field goal to go. You got to start by being legitimately competitive in every single one of these games. And I know that's a low bar to clear, but last year there were games that were non-competitive against teams that, frankly, they should be toss-up games and games that maybe should get out of whack, ended up being closer than expected, and they were unable to pull one of those out. So I think you put yourself in a fourth quarter game every single week, you're going to get an opportunity to have one of those cross the line. And that's the real thing that you need to get the fan base fully in. No one's ever going to be in full support of anything right now in 2025. We can't even agree what color the sky is. But at some point, you need some momentum from the fan base, and beating somebody that you're not expected to is, I think, how that happens.
Billy Schmidt joining us from the No BS program, and he'll be on Badgers post game tonight into the wee hours. Badgers favored by 17.5 tonight. New offensive coordinator, 40 new players. My thing is, what area of this team will be most improved? Will it be the D line, or will it be just the offense being able to extend drives and maybe not punt after every third down?
Well, and I think the latter helps the former, right? Like the D line got run on in so many of those games, Drew, because they were on the field so much. Like you look at that Iowa game and how bad it was because that. Now Luke Fickell didn't agree with it when Mike Heller said they kind of told you where they were going to go and did. He goes, I don't really think it was like that. It kind of was, coach. But at some point, they had one guy over 300 pounds a year ago. They got 7 now. So that beef, I think, allows you to hold up in the run game. But you got to be on the bench every once in a while as a defensive lineman to catch your breath. And being able to milk some drives, have some longevity on the field, and play a little more complimentary. I think that's first goal on the improvement of the offense. Help your defense out a little bit more. You'll stumble into more points than anything of becoming the most explosive in the Big Ten. Start clearing those benchmarks. And I think you help your defense, which is going to be more improved. And frankly, the numbers showed, Drew, they weren't bad last year. They got put in a lot of tough spots. They threw themselves into bad spots by giving the ball to the other team and then not being able to stay on the field for the offense. So I think that, and especially the run defense, is the one that's markedly improved.
I'll be watching tonight because I'm very interested to see how Billy Edwards runs things and how in command he is. I mean, he's a smart dude. You've watched him in practice. It's a new offense for everybody with Grimes bringing it in. So I'll be interested, but I mentioned third down because I don't remember them converting a lot of third downs last year, but Wisconsin gaining 6.5 yards on first down has been the key to success for them. And how do they do that? How do they, what's the mix going to be? Is this the air raid was not really an air raid.
Well, air raid never landed in Madison.
It never took off. So what is the mix going to be? Is this going to, will we see Billy Edwards throw on first down a handful of times tonight? Will we see, them try to run it and gain 7 yards on first down to kind of win the chain game? What is it going to look like?
I think it's going to look a lot more of Wisconsin football that people have come to know and love. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to line up in an I formation, single eye backfields, and then all of a sudden bust out a wishbone. But they are going to have multiple tight ends on the field at a given time. They are going to cycle through a couple of backs. You had Dupree on, and then you also have Dylan Jones in the backfield, Cade Giacomelli. People are really excited about with his athleticism. He's going to be out there. They're going to run the ball a bit. But I think Edwards, Drew, not only moving the ball around, because they got good playmakers on the outside. Treshka Kahuna is a good player. Vinny Anthony's a really explosive player. You got to get the ball to him consistently, and that was the biggest problem a year ago. And I don't mean to hearken on Braden Locke, but there were times that he threw a phenomenal deep ball. Didn't complete enough of them, but he threw a great ball. Yeah. And Vinny Anthony, one of the reasons why he's expected to do what he is this year is because he had like 6 or 7 touchdowns last year. So they got guys on the outside that if you can get the ball to them consistently can do some things, but it's going to start with the run game. And that's the other part of the more Wisconsin that people have come to know and love. I think their offensive line is going to be better. It's a little bit older, still has Riley Mahlman, Joe Brunner, Renfro, they've loved since they came over from Cincinnati. He's finally healthy. Mandel was a 4-star recruit that they're really, really high on. And a Wisconsin kid, Davis, that's coming into play right tackle, and he's elevating from a lower level. So I think you see a bunch of that. And LePay talked about it earlier today, and I love this part of it. Finding some more guys that you can make and have that the motion W means something to. Like Davis Hinsman is a Wisconsin guy, being able to come back and play for Wisconsin. Joe Schobert is the honorary captain tonight. That's a dude that playing at Wisconsin meant everything too. in a day and age where it's tougher to find that in college football, they do still exist, and the Badgers are going to have to find some of those. I think they got a couple on this team.
Is the X factor Billy Edwards' ability to pick up yards with his feet? Badgers haven't had that in a while. And will they move him around in the pocket? Like, I guess some of that is predicated on how the line protects, right? But if they have their druthers, they want him in 5-step drop, clean pocket, step up and fire a laser, right? That's the plan.
That's the goal. Again, a lower bar you got to be healthy. In the first 2 years of this regime, their quarterback that's been brought in to play for a one and done situation has been out by week 6 in Mordecai.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is there a proxy on that at a sports book?
I don't know that
futures bet.
I think Emmanuel Classe was trying to put one together to set a line on it. But yeah, it's a brutal spot when you are investing on players and then those players go down. So Edwards' ability to stay healthy is the first way that he's going to help solidify that spot. But I also think they've done a better job, Drew, behind him to, if break glass in case of emergency. They got backups that have played. They got a backup that's played. They got a guy in Smith that they really, really like way in behind. So they're better equipped if something were to go wrong here in year 3.
Yeah, those are some bad memories with Mordecai getting hurt and Van Dyke and
still showed up to the football feast in the brace though. That was awesome.
Was big time. Yeah, he's pretty big time.
But Billy, you mentioned guys that grow up and want to play with the W on the helmet, and it's like you take a look at it in this day and age. It's like you may have a kid out there that does that, and he gets to Wisconsin and he busts his ass for the first 2 years, and whoops, here comes a guy from Ohio taking your job.
Yep.
And that's the one thing I don't like about it. I just think keep one, NIL or the transfer portal. That's it. You get to keep one because it's messing things up.
Well, and I think the biggest part of it is it's not, to your point, KB, it's not that both of them are so evil, but mixed together, it's a dangerous potion.
Yes, it is.
Caffeine and alcohol at certain times, right? But they're good on either side, but together it can be a little dangerous. They're going to rein it in, I think, with the contracts, but you're also seeing the best teams, right? Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame. Hell, Clemson is trying to do something that nobody believes you can do. That's win a national title and bring in 2 transfers. But the best ones are bringing in 8 to 12 guys. But the majority of your team is going to be homegrown, developed, and the program kind of means something too, where we got a little over our skis where we're going to bring in 30 guys. All right, coaching 30 players is hard enough, let alone with only so many practices. And those are 30 guys that programs felt cool letting walk out the door. If it's free agency, you take a pro model to it. There's a reason why you're a free agent. And I think that's where the best teams are definitely starting to calm down on how many they're letting leave and how many they're bringing in.
That's a good point. Question from the text line. Billy, will Grimes call plays from the sideline or is he a press box guy?
I believe sideline, but that is something that I am hand raised in air. Bad Big J journalist, Drew. You'd be upset with me. I don't know that I've asked him in our 2 times sitting down with him. So I believe on the field, but I am not 100% sure.
Yeah, well, some guys see advantages both ways, right?
Yeah.
Being able to talk to guys face to face and then as opposed to
grab a face mask if you really need to, but then
there you go.
It depends on how much you trust the guys with the eyes in the sky.
All right. All you insomniacs and all you people who are going to be enjoying the Badgers game this evening, be sure and stick around for the Badgers post-game show. Billy Schmidt and Lance Allen be bringing it to you to the wee hours. And hopefully, Billy, you're talking about a very comfortable victory with a lot of highlights and no injuries.
Just make sure that when you're getting into that Uber outside of Wando's or the KK, you tell them to flip on the game, and then we'll be talking to you after.
Good call. Thank you, Billy. Safe travels, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Boys. Billy Schmidt, you'll hear him on No BS tomorrow morning, and tonight you'll hear him on Badgers post-game show on the Badgers Radio Network. Brewers still trailing. It's the 9th inning. They're down by 2 runs. A lot of ball game left. Not as much as